Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hala Shah, and today, on behalf of the PICS organization, I will be conducting an exclusive interview with an amazing, really inspiring personality from Pakistan. He is a young, bright innovator, a natural debater, a passion driven leader. He is a self made entrepreneur and an inventor of the world's first smart wheelchair. He is also the CEO of AYECO Private Limited. Mr. Faaiz Arbab. His achievements not only confined to technology, he has also contributed a great deal in environment friendly projects, a few of which are planting 3,000 plus trees in the middle of industrial hubs of Pakistan. Mr. Faaiz Arbab, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you so much for taking out the time to talk to us today. I'm glad to have you with us.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
So, let's start with how you came up with the idea of bringing upon change in the society, and that too at such a young age.
Thank you, Hala, for giving me this opportunity to share my views about my life story about my startup. So the question is how I came up with the idea of bringing change in the society. And first thing you need to keep in mind is that there's nothing like age limits or something like that, because
That's
I'm
true.
24 by age, but the maturity, it doesn't mean that the maturity comes with age. The maturity comes with experience. So I've always been a leader since my since my school days. When I talk about my school days, I've been a class monitor in school. When I talk about my college days, I've been the society president. And when I talk about my university days, I used to be president of five societies, five
Okay, mashallah.
co-curricular and extracurricular societies at the same time. So the leadership skills were already within me since my childhood. So when someone asked me how I came up with this idea to bring about change in the society, so my mind is there's something in my mind that it never accepts the environment as it is. It tends to change. It tends to my life slogan is don't complain but change. So I always try not to complain, but I try to change the environment according to my mind.
That's really inspiring, mashallah. Because we see a lot of boys are either busy trying to settle down at your age for a secure career or they're too distracted to care. So, this is really inspiring. The second thing that I want to know now is about your project called GOBEE. How did it all start? What motivated you? Who helped you along the way? Everything from top to bottom that you can tell us.
So let me tell you something about the GOBEE and the story behind the GOBEE. It started when I was in a fifth semester of my bachelor's back in 2015, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So it was my fifth semester of my BS in University of Engineering and Technology, Faisalabad campus. So
Right.
there is something that in every semester you have to choose a major term project, and you have to complete it within the given course of time. Let's say, and the time is 4 to 5 months. So at that time, I had to choose a project, and I had to complete it within 5 months. So uh, uh, during those days when I was choosing my term project in my fifth semester, a very sad incident happened within my family.
Mm-hmm.
It was my grandmother who fell into the washroom and broke her pelvic bone in
Oh,
2013. And after recovering her wounds, and her bone got recovered in 1 year, she again fell and again broke the same bone. So that was a miserable condition, because she had to depend on others for
that's
to carry
true.
out daily routine tasks. So when we decided that we should buy a power wheelchair for my grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
so when my family visited the market, we found out the wheelchairs are way too expensive to be to be affordable. So uh, I decided that this shouldn't be the way. There are a lot of people in Pakistan who cannot afford expensive electric devices or expensive wheelchairs.
That's true,
Same
yes.
my grandmother. So I, I I talked with my friend who was my good fellow in university. So I said that we should do something. We should make a device, make a machine, make a wheelchair in Pakistan. So when we visited market for for information where the wheelchairs come from, who are the manufacturers in Pakistan, who are the dealers of the wheelchairs. So later we found out there is not even a single company in Pakistan who are making wheelchairs. All the wheelchairs, all the power wheelchairs are being imported from abroad. Major sourcing is from China, and these wheelchairs were way too expensive, very expensive to be afforded by people of Pakistan. So
Like
we
approximately
decided
how much?
the price of the wheelchair could start from 150,000 PKR, and then
Okay.
it will go up to 400,000 and
Right,
500,000 Pakistani
right.
rupees. So we decided that there should be a wheelchair that should be available within 50,000 or less than that price. So because the one who is dependent on a power wheelchair cannot use a manual wheelchair, that's a difference. Because sometimes
Yes,
the movement is retarded and the hand movement is also affected by some
that's
ailment.
true, yeah.
So we decided to make this power wheelchair with some innovation. So the innovation was there, and the point of innovation was a voice control wheelchair. We proposed this project to our advisor in university. He said
Right,
it's a very difficult project. You can't do because you are a student of electrical engineering, and there's a lot of work of mechatronics engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science engineering, um, uh, and many other things. So we said we'll do that. So with that confidence, he said, okay, let's do it. So we chose that project, but later we found out that it couldn't be completed within the given time. So we badly failed to complete it within 5 months. So
okay.
the results were so poor. The project was not completed. We requested our advisor that we have to take the same project in another semester. So it was my sixth semester. We took the same project, and with prayers of my family, my friends, and my colleagues, we were able to complete it partially within a complete year in 2015. So that was a project, but not a product. And when we showed it to our advisor, he was very happy that we completed it and we completed what we promised. So he said that there is going to be a competition, a national level competition in Aga Khan University.
Okay.
Sorry, GIK University, and that is a national level competition. You should go there. So we applied for that competition, but unfortunately, due to Bacha Khan University attack, terrorist
Oh,
activity going on there, so all the events were postponed, and something happened. So we were not able to go there. But then we appeared in a national level competition in our own university, and we won the prize. So many judges. Again they propose us that we should go to the market, we should sell this product, we have to convert this project into a product. And again there was a need in my family that I was making a wheelchair for my grandmother, so it was the story of my family. So then I decided that whatever I do, I will do it. I have to pursue it as a career or not, but I have to make wheelchairs, and those wheelchairs will be a sellable version, and will have to be available into the market.
right, right.
So yes, so I later on put aside all the things because I had 2 semesters to complete my bachelor's degree. I did that, and after my summer vacation, uh, after my degree completion, I was hired by a national level company that was CPI. Uh, the task which was assigned is to conduct energy audit
All right.
uh, in in all the water pumping stations of Lahore city of Pakistan. So I
Okay.
did very well. But at that time, I decided that I have to 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 go for entrepreneurship to start my own venture. So I decided that I will hire some internees, and they will work for me, and I'll pay them to work for me, because I had at that time I did not have any had time to work
True,
on the hardware
yes.
things and on the research things to convert my project into a product. So I hired a couple of internees, and I gave them a place in my garage. And uh,
Okay.
those were three internees, three university students. I was going to job from 9 to 5, and I was working there in that project from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. There, then I used to go to my job, and after 5 p.m. I used to come back to the workshop and work on the project. All my salary was divided into three, and was given to those three internees. So that's like how I managed to get the finances, uh, how I managed to conduct the research. So that was the most draining activity of my life. That all my money that I earned was being drained in those research activities. But those
Yes,
research activities later proved to be very fruitful, as
exactly.
those were those were the building stones of my business. As it wasn't clear at that time that either I would be able to make a complete product that would be sellable, or I have to quit, or even the customers are going to like my product, are going to accept it. So the first wheelchair I brought into the market was a complete failure, as uh,
Really?
I sold it through a online platform. So the wheelchair badly failed, but I was in the close contact of my grandmother, who was using the wheelchair, and that customer who purchased my first wheelchair in 30,000 rupees. So I reiterate with that feedback from the customer. I again reiterate. Then it was the time when I joined National Incubation Center, and I put my idea. I displayed my idea to the team of National Incubation Center, and they selected me and incubated me in National Incubation Center at LUMS. So
Okay.
it was the first cohort of NIC, National Incubation Center at LUMS, and I was one of the inductee and incubatee in their incubation center. So within a period of 4 to 5 months, they gave us a couple of business trainings, as I wasn't so familiar with those trainings and business terms. So with a couple of months of training in business and business strategies, uh, we decided to start it as a full time career. And I quit my job at that time. I joined the university, Lums University, as a student of MS Electrical Engineering. So I started my MS, and meanwhile the National Incubation Center, I used to go there and work with my team. Again, at that time, the internees were working for free of cost, because it was National Incubation Center, and the experience was worth it. So,
True.
I think that was the most important part of my business and my life, that we officially registered this as a company. As the name says, Ayub Yaqub Engineering Company. So it's again a tribute to my father and grandfather, because
Okay.
Ayub is my father and Yaqub is my
Yes.
grandfather. So it's the name is also a tribute to my father and grandfather.
Right. I was going
So
to ask you about that.
Oh, we officially registered as a private limited company, and I was one of the director, and the other director was, because National Incubation Center and Lungs University is also holding a director seat in our company.
Okay.
So that's the most precise thing I can tell about my business journey.
Right, right. So, what does GOBEE mean? Is it an acronym or does it stand for anything?
Yes, it's an acronym, because GOBEE is a combination of two words. GOBEE. It's like the product we made is as mobile as a bee, because the
Okay.
bee hovers from a flower to flower. So the person on the GOBEE wheelchair will be as mobile as the bee. So it can also be pronounced as go be yourself. So the person who is moving
Okay.
the wheelchair can enjoy his life again with the mobility machine.
Right. Very innovative. So, Now you are also the founder and CEO of AYECO Private Limited. How did that begin? What is the story
So
behind
I
it?
So I already told you that in January 2018 we officially registered it as a private limited company with three directors. One was me, the other second one was my sister, Dr. Zahra, and the
Okay.
third director seat was being held by Lums University. That was all about the official things. One thing I forgot to mention is we got the patents of this world's first voice control wheelchair, as this is the invention of Pakistan. Some people from government organization offered us this opportunity that we should get this technology patented. So we applied for that, and yes, this product is patented
Okay.
and secure for 20 years.
Right, that's brilliant. So, do you find it challenging to be an authority and running a whole company at your age? If
Of
so,
course,
how do you cope with the struggles?
struggles are there in every walk of life. So because managing my student life and managing my newly founded company, both
Exactly.
things demanded a lot of time, as I was pursuing
True.
a full time master's degree, graduate degree in electrical engineering, and that the courses were too rigorous. So I took a 6 months break from my university and gave full time to my business, and then
Hmm.
that was the prime time I had to focus on the activities, as I was planning to make the company as an institution, as an organization, as a
Right.
well organized company, so that it could work without my absence. And I was working on the SOPs. I was straightforward. I wasn't looking for the profits or revenues. I was making the things, building up the things, growing
Just
the things,
investing. Right.
so that the things can work without me. Because if I stay there or not, the company should go on with the same
Right.
objective or vision which I had.
Right. Right. So now tell us a little about the smart walking stick for the visually impaired that you have been working on.
So the idea came into my mind because while I was incubated in National Incubation Center LUMS, there is a department that's called Assistive Technology Department in LUMS. They offer assistive technology to the students who are, you can say, physically challenged, and
Right.
a lot of blind students
Okay.
study there, and there are a couple of professors who are visually impaired, and they were teaching. So I was so impressed how they are teaching and how they are, managing their lives as they were blind. So when I interviewed them, as of my curiosity, I asked them, what are the things you are using, what are the aids you are using to, because those professors or assistant professors were teaching and they were completely blind. So I asked them. They said, these are the tools we use, these are the technology we use. So then I realized that what is the role of technology to help, because we should not be shame of using of assisted devices, even a single
That's right.
wearable technology. Let's say we talk about glasses. The glasses we wear is still an assisted device. So we don't feel shame in wearing glasses. So we shouldn't feel shame in using assisted technology. So in those settings, we came up with the idea of smart cane for visually impaired persons, because most of the time the visually impaired persons use conventional white canes, which
Right.
means they will hit the obstacle with their cane and will identify what is the nature of the obstacle. They will hover the obstacle, hover the cane in their path, so that they can detect if there is is any obstacle
True.
in their path.
True.
So we came up with the idea that it should tell the user beforehand that if there is going to be any obstacle in their path, or the path is clear for them to move on. So we started working on this almost 11 months ago, and now we can say that we have made uh, again, this is Pakistan's first commercially available smart cane that can predict the obstacles, that can tell the users about the
Right.
nature of the obstacle, about the nature of the environment they are moving in, so that they can avoid the obstacles and navigate their path. The feedback given to the user by the smart cane is silently given in the form of vibrations. So,
Okay.
with the help of those vibration patterns and the intensity of those vibrations, the user can identify and move on their path.
Right, right. So, have you sold any products as for yet?
Yes, because ICO is a very technology focused product, and we are focusing on our sales as well, because to sustain, we have made a sustainable business model. To sustain, we have to earn some good revenues. So we made a very nominal price for wheelchairs, that is 100,000 PKR Pakistani rupees. So we are already able to sell 55 wheelchairs, and we have
Okay.
satisfied, we have 100 plus satisfied customers who have either bought our wheelchair or either taken our services. So the revenues are almost 6 million plus of 10 rupees within 6 months. So 6 months at the time we have started our sales.
Right, right. So, the next question that I want to ask you is that what motivates you? Like, what keeps you going even after facing failures and everything?
Actually, the thing is, the thing which motivates me is my vision, because I have already very clear vision about what I have to achieve and what where the world is going. When we talk about the rest of the world, the people are going to Mars, people are going to Moon, people are going to space. Even cars are going to space, and
Yes.
in Pakistan we are stuck in 3G and 4G and things like that. And
Yes, true.
so I think we have to come over all these things, and we have to compete the world, because there is nothing less in Pakistani people, in Pakistani young nation, and we are equipped with every thing which other nations have. So we have to compete them. So competition is the best thing you can survive. Without competition, you can't survive.
That's true. That's true. Now, apart from all the technological stuff, you have also worked. You have also been working on projects to save the environment. Tell us a little about that.
I was working with World Bank as an internee in 2017, and conducted energy audit and environmental audit of WASA. WASA stands for Water and Sanitation Agency. It's a government-owned organization that works to in water supply and water drainage systems in Pakistan. So I worked with them, and I conducted their energy audit and environmental audit to improve the efficiency of the pumping stations, as water is the most important problem, is a major problem in world, major problem
That's
worldwide.
true.
So we conducted an energy audit of 250 plus pumping stations in Lahore, and gave the efficiency reports to World Bank, and it was a United Nations funded project. So we did for them, and the other project we did was uh, in my university life. I found that the campus was newly built, and there was no greenery, because
Mm-hmm.
the area in which my university was located was a barren land, and it was an industrial zone. So there was no
Okay.
plantation or greenery in that zone. So I founded a society called Guardian of Garden, and
Okay.
with that umbrella, with that platform, we planted 3,000 plus trees in my own campus. That was 220 acres. So managing things on our own behalf, and as a student, we managed to work with the gardeners. We managed to work with the the organizational officers of the university who are working for the
There
betterment of the
were
campus. We managed.
volunteers as well. Volunteers as well.
Yes. Yes, exactly. We were volunteers, and we were securing fundings from different sources to plant trees, to maintain those different plants. We planted different kinds of trees
Right.
in our campus.
That's really nice. So now, where do you see Pakistan standing in terms of technology, let's say in the next 10 years?
I'm very much hopeful with the with Pakistan, as you can say, Pakistan is globally connected with the internet, and it's fourth industrial wave. It's a very modern era. So uh, everything is changing with a very fast rate. So I think within a couple of years, with the, like you can say, electric vehicles and as already the market is full of hybrid electric vehicles, and
Yeah,
but there is an ecosystem that is still to be developed for electric vehicles, completely electric vehicles.
true.
So I think within the course of 5 years we will be occupied with most of the electric vehicles in the market, and we'll be launching our next space station in 10 years, and we'll be leading the world
Inshallah, inshallah.
because we are no less than other nations.
Yes,
So
that's
yes, I'm
true.
very hopeful in Pakistan.
Let's see, inshallah. So, what are you,
Inshallah.
yeah, what are your future plans now? Where do you want to take all this effort and work in the years to come?
We launched our first product on July 2018, and it's like 7 to 8 months. We have gone very far from as we compare when we started, but we have to go very far. So we have to. There is a very long journey we have to go. So we have made our business very lean, so that we have minimized our expenses so that we can go far. So we are focusing on other projects and products which are compatible with the international market. One of them is smart cane. That is in Europe, the smart cane costs you like 400 to $500, and in Pakistan we made this smart cane for that is available in the market for 50 USD. So
Oh,
that's almost 10 to 11 times cheaper than the available product in European market, and we are trying to put it on the Kickstarter. And in this year 2020, in next year we are planning to sell 100,000 units of smart cane and uh,
okay.
50,000 units of gobies. And yes, we are innovating over gobi as 1.0 gobi is out in the market, and we are working on the second model, that is gobi 2.0. That will be a export version of gobi, and that will move to the European and Canadian markets and Middle East.
Is
So yes, we
it
have
the Gobi
plans for
2
export as
is
well.
the Gobi 2 is more advanced, or is it the same as one?
Yes, the GOBEE 2 is going to be launched in 3 months, and GOBEE 2.0 is very advanced in features and in comfort.
Okay.
It's equipped with the IP cameras, and you can control the wheelchair anywhere, wheelchair or the person who is moving on the wheelchair anywhere from anywhere in the world almost. And you can see the person who is sitting on the wheelchair. You can look after the user,
Right.
and there are a lot of safety features being introduced in Gobi 2.0, so that the comfort and safety of the user is ensured.
Right. That's nice. Uh, so now I want to ask you that what do you think makes a great leader? Like, what are the qualities and attributes that a leader should have?
So there is one thing that we need to keep in mind, that a leader leads, but a boss guides. So a leader is the one who creates more leaders amongst his followers. So I'm trying to create more leaders amongst my team. I have already delegated some. I have already given many tasks to my employees, so that more leadership skills could be inculcated and could be grown within them. So a leader should create more leaders, more precisely.
That's really nice. And what is your message to the youth? Do you encourage them to step forward and take risks?
Yes, I think the youth of this time is already very advanced. It's connected with the globe. It's connected with the as the world is a global village with Internet of Things. Everything
Yes.
is very close to one another with the Google, with the Microsoft, with YouTube. You can see what's happening on the other part of the world. So and the youth is the most connected community of our nation. So
That's
I
true.
think youth should not waste their time. Youth should work and with a vision. There is only need of a good leader. So I think our current leader, Mr. Imran Khan, is very much inspiring and is giving us good hope so that the
That's
youth of
true.
Pakistan could go in a in a better direction.
Yes. With Imran Khan, we do see a bright future for Pakistan.
Yes, of
So,
course, definitely.
lastly, I want to ask you, what is your routine? Like, we have heard stories about the Apple founder, Steve Jobs, and the founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, sleeping only for about 4 to 5 hours a day. I really want to know if that is true for every high achiever and leader.
Yes, that's absolutely true because the clock is ticking and you have everyone has 24 hours. But what makes the difference is the productive time. Some people waste their time and some people make their time more productive by working on the by working around the clock. And if I have to talk about my routine, so most of the job people work from 9 to 5, and uh, I can say I work from 5 to 9. That is almost uh,
Okay.
16 hours a day.
Okay.
But one should not compromise on the sleep because a healthy mind lives in a healthy body.
Yes.
So I think you have to sleep good, sleep well, but tension free.
Yes, exactly. So basically, you need to struggle to achieve something. It's not easy to be somewhere without struggle and hard work.
Exactly.
So thanks a lot, Mr. Faiz Arbab. It has been a pleasure having you with us,
You're
and
welcome.
I wish you all the best for the future. And we hope to see you achieve a lot more in the coming years, inshallah.